Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. I'm so excited to meet all of you again today. Today is September 25th, 2024, Wednesday. And of course, today we are at the second last chapter, chapter 17. I just couldn't believe how the time has passed so fast. Huh? So I believe that those of you who are attending our program from the day one, you can see some transformation, and there's a lot of devotees call me personally and mention that there's lots of things that are happening in their life. They feel so good, and I'm so grateful to that. And of course, we are also looking forward for the next program is on 7th October. So 7th October, we're going to start all over again. I think it's Rusan Mataji and Shanti Samantha Mataji and Doctor, all right? Premanchani, right?
Yeah, Jay.
Premanjali. So both of them are coming in. And of course, everyone are invited, all right? So don't miss that opportunity. Because sometimes we need to, Bhagavad Gita is like never-ending studies. So you have to go on reading and reading and reading. So this is a very easy way of doing it, whereby you're trying to understand the essence of the Gita. Okay. So before we start, so I believe that yesterday we had a good session, and I'm so sorry. I've totally forgot to upload the video. I just did just now, and I uploaded. Okay. And before we start, is there anyone who want to share something or any reflection? All good? Okay. Okay. If that's the thing, then we start the session. Okay. First of all, am I very clear? Am I really audible? Am I clear? Is my voice is going in, going out, or something like that? Hello? Oh, okay.
Your microphone is in front of you, Prabhu. Your mic?
Microphone is at the side. That's what I'm asking.
Your sound is a bit low, Prabhu.
Okay, then I just put the mic here.
Now it's great.
No, because I did another setup and I tried to steal the same.
No, I think it doesn't work, bro.
It doesn't work.
Okay. This one is great, bro. This way is very good.
Yeah, no, I find that this thing is like in the middle.
Oh, so... no, you look very handsome, bro.
Okay. So, before we start, let's offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and all these Guru Varga and all that assembled devotees. So, without their mercy, it is not possible for us to have this program. Okay. So, let's do the invocation prayer. So, today I will try to read one or two translations from that invocation. Okay. So, if any one of you knows this mantra, can follow me. Or if not, just listen to it. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance with the torchlight of knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and all the other preceptors of the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnavas and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Sri Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associate. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all his devotees, headed by Srivas Thakur. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and all the gopis headed by Lalita and Visakha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhak Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragramatharine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chadesatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshabhana Vide Vidaitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Varagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestum Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Presu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tats Hari Krishna. So welcome everyone again. So today we are at the chapter 17. So this chapter 17 here it's mentioning that the title of this chapter is called the division of faith. Okay. So in faith, there are many types of division. All right. So sometimes we say that, certain people come into certain types of faith. And what is that? Those divisions. All right. So there are three types of faith corresponding to and evolving from the three modes of material nature. So the faith of a person are simply created according to that environment. That is why Krishna says that whenever and wherever there's a decline of religious practice, I shall descend myself to re-establish that religious practice. All right? Because it's a constitutional position for a human being to be religious. All right? Religious means to be linked with God. So therefore, he came in different forms and different ways to re-establish the religious process. So when you look at these, there are many inscription and scriptures which was written. The Vedas has been divided into four and further divided into four, what they call Brahmana, Arakya, Samhita, and Upanishad. All right, there's so many divisions. At least there's 4,000 plus division, and each division has even can expand. There's a light and the dark. There's a lighter part. It's huge, so much. And all of them were destroyed when they came to invade India and destroy the Nalanda University, right? Then after that, the Christians came from the west, the British came and they went and destroyed further. Because why this thing happened? Because all this is been predicted in Kali Yuga, all right? when you want to destroy a culture, when you want to destroy something, first you need to destroy the main person. You have to destroy the cultured people. When the cultured people is destroyed, the culture will be destroyed. So that was the lamentation that Arjuna had. He doesn't want to fight because he's thinking, when I kill all these people, the entire way of life, entire culture will be destroyed, right? So that was the thing. So here what we're going to study in chapter 17 is, so act performed by those who faith in passion and ignorance yield only impermanent material result, whereas act performed in goodness, in accord with scriptural injunction, purify the heart and lead to pure faith in Lord Krishna and devotion to him. All right. So what we're going to discuss here is going to be very interesting topic. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. All right. So today we are discussing Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7. That's the 7 plus 7. Chapter 17, proudly presented by Ipoh ISKCON Bhakti Yoga Center in collaboration with ISKCON Malaysia. All right. So here we start the discussion. So first of all, let's look at the deity. This is the presiding deity of Kuala Lumpur, Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga Rai. And that's Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Okay. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada was a person who simply fulfilled the predictions of Bible. Jesus says that how are you going to come back? Okay, he says he's going to come back. He said, I shall come in disguise and I will live in disguise. But the religion that I'm going to create is going to be the world dominant, because I'm going to come and give the knowledge as it is. Okay. So anyway, just a quick story about Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, when he was young, he was born in a family of a devotee. And when he was 5 years old, he started to perform his first Radha Yatra with his childhood friends. Right. The father was a great devotee. And he born in a Mulik family, or which is called one of the very rich mercantile family. All right, mercantile family. Then when he was young, he was so much into this devotional service. The father, in fact, gave him Sri Radha Govinda as a gift, as a toy, so he can play and worship. And after that, he made the small cut. When he was only 5 years old, he did his first Radha Yatra. When he was 22 years old, he went and joined this movement of Gandhi, whereby he wants to bring independence for India. Okay, he became the Gandhi movement, and he graduated from the Scottish College of Calcutta. He did this, what they call his degree in chemistry. He's a pharmacist by profession, chemist. So just to protest about this in the Indian this thing, because he wants India liberation for India, he refused to accept the certificate. All right, all these people. And his class senior is Subhash Chandra Bose, the great fighter for Indian independence. So when he was 22, his friend forced him to come and see a holy man, but he refused. He was telling me, when I was young, my father used to bring all the holy men to the house so that the holy man will bless me. So I'm fed up with all these things. Don't disturb me. Then the friend forcefully said, no, you come. Let's look at this. Let's go and see who's this holy man. So when he went and met his, first time he met his Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he had so much of strong attachment. And of course, he had an argument. How he argued? He said, what is the point when you talk about Bhakti when India is not liberated? Okay, that was his argument. And of course, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada replied, even India is independent or not, but you are still dependent. There's no independent. The only independent that we want is to be liberated from this bodily concept of life. Therefore, you are a very educated young man. Why not you go and take this mission of Lord Chaitanya and preach to the English-speaking world? Can you imagine first time when you see a master guru, spiritual master, and suddenly he gave that instruction? He was like awe-stricken, huh? What? Then after that he became, then eventually he was initiated by him. He accepted initiation. Then after that, when he became 50, he just gave up his family life renounced his life, and he started this first movement in Jhansi, the League of Devotees. But of course, he didn't turn up. Then after that, he went to this Vrindavan, and every day he traveled to Delhi to make sure that his first canto Bhagavatam is translated. Okay. And after that, he tried to speak to all the Indian gentlemen. He started to speak to all the Indians, and looks like Indians are not interested. You know, they say we just got independence from British, and now this is this thing. Now is the time to enjoy. Now you are coming and wasting your time talking about bhakti nonsense. So nobody want to listen to him. Then after that, you have no choice. Then his spiritual master came to his dream and said, "Why not you go to the West now? Now you go to the West." Then after that, through this Sumati Morarji, there's a lady, and she gave him a free ticket to Boston, America. All right, that's a ship that he took, Jala Duta. Then after that, while he was traveling, he had a 2 heart attack, and then after that, he was suffered a lot. Then he came, and no one was interested in him. He was almost to be killed by a mob. He was staying with a crazy guy, drug addict. All right, he was staying in a yoga studio, but of course, the yoga studio, they were talking nonsense. He couldn't take it. He just moved out with the guy, and that guy says, "You can stay with me." And then suddenly at night, he became like so crazy. He was having after drugs hangover. So he almost to kill him. Then after that, then after they came out, then through a help with some devotees, Hayagriva and all this. So some or other, he started this ISKCON movement. So first thing is chanted. He simply sat under the tree in Thompson Square in America. So today the Thompson Square, the tree that he sat now is gazetted as the Hare Krishna tree, the place where the Hare Krishna religion was founded. So he just sat and everybody followed him. Then from there, his hippie friends start to create he called up all these hippies and start to have this hippie rock. And Prabhupada went in and did this Hare Krishna. And eventually many people became devotees and everything. And this is George Harrison, the Beatles. And the Beatles became a devotee, and Beatles is the one donated the Bhakti Vedanta Meno. Now that property is worth millions of pounds. All right. And many people have tried to capture back this thing. So he donated that his property, estate, the big estate. Then after that, he went to Moscow. Then from England, he traveled around the world. And one of the pit stop was Moscow. And in Moscow, he just met one person, gave him an initiation and told him he was set and taught him only for 4 days. But he is such an empowered Acharya. Because he's so empowered, he could just impart the knowledge. That's why, like today, there's a devotee called me up, C.S. Tan. He was talking to me about he wanted to study the Gita and everything. I said, you can only study, but the knowledge will be imparted by Krishna if you are sincere. All right. So, just like that. So this young man was suddenly inspired. He started to take some books and start to preach. And eventually he was taken to the concentration camp, whacked, beaten, almost to die. And some or other he came out. And because of this one man, Hare Krishna in Russia is the biggest what do you call Hare Krishna community outside India. It's the biggest what they call Hare Krishna community, Russians. All right. And also it's also predicted that soon in the future, all right, it says that the Chinese will be the last to join, but once they join, they'll be the world dominant. So now that's why we're all working hard to cultivate Chinese devotees, to create Chinese devotees. And now we see in China, of course, China is banned. Hare Krishna is banned. Even any religion is banned. Okay. So, and second thing is China and India are not in good terms. So they don't have a visa to go to Vrindavan, Mayapur. So the only best place they can come to is Malaysia, because Malaysia, they're giving a 1 month golden days. That means there's no visa. You can just enter the country without visa. So recently you see a big flock of devotees from China came and inspired all the other local devotees. All right. So like that. So that's going to be the thing that we all are looking forward. I hope I can see that in my lifetime. And like that, he met many professors, many this thing. And after that, he created back to God again. And he written so many books. All right. Even in Bhagavatam itself, if you go and read one verse a day, it's going to take you 54 years to finish. But what he did, within a short period of 12 years, he translated more than 80 books. And that books are, that much. And it's translated into 80 languages around the world. All right. And there's every town and village, there is Hare Krishna movement, including Arabia. The only place that Hare Krishna was not available formally was North Pole and South Pole. But recently they discovered there was a family quietly practicing Hare Krishna chanting without knowing anything. They just they read the Bhagavad Gita and they just follow that, whatever method, they just follow that and practicing. No knowledge, no exposure. So when they went to Siberia to preach, and they were so shocked to see a family sitting and clapping and singing Hare Krishna. All right. So now we see that the Krishna conscious movement has spread to Siberia. Like that, it's going to be in it. So like that's why in every town and village, this thing. So what Prabhupada did is something which is is like something which cannot be perceived. Okay. We have seen like we have not seen a person like Jesus or Nabi Muhammad that's spreading the religion around the world. But what Prabhupada did, within a short span of 12 years, he established 108 temples, initiated more than 3,000 people, and inspired the whole world, and made that Hare Krishna chanting as household chanting. Okay, with that reflection, we move on. Let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya. Ya Shranoti cha Gitartam Kirtayatyeva ya Param Sravayek cha Parartam Vai Sa Prayati Param Padam. What Krishna says in Vaishnava Tantra Sara, verse 26, he says, one who attentively hears and sings the glories of the purport of the Gita. Okay. One who attentively hears and after that sing the glories of the purport of the Gita, or reiterates the purport to others. Sometimes you just hear something, you can put in your status, right? Your WhatsApp status or Facebook or whatever it is, just put this thing, or just call someone and just say, something that I learned something new today in Gita, it's mentioned like this, like this. So when a person does that, okay, so what Krishna says here, such a person attains to the supreme destination. So that's a person who attains the supreme destination. Okay, so that is the glories of Gita. All right, let's look at this understanding of Gita. Okay, now let's look at this. This is going to be very interesting. So it says here, Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Okay, Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect. Okay, our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses. Our senses are not perfect. So when we have imperfect senses, how can we research a perfect, perfect Veda? All right. We have to accept perfect knowledge which comes down. So we have to accept the perfect knowledge which comes down as stated in Bhagavad Gita by the parampara system or disciplic succession. So what we understand from here, if any Tom, Dick and Harry out of sudden they just come and say, I'm God, or I've created one new way or new worship method, all that are considered bogus. What is bogus means? Fake, not true, right? So the only thing that we want to accept a knowledge has to come down through a parampara. Parampara means a guru, disciple, guru, disciple, guru. That means we come from so and so. Okay, like when we are going to look back, okay, where we came from. We ask our father. The father will tell our grandfather, then grandfather, great. So that's how. Then we go. Then we go to India. Then from India, where or China, where we just that's called parampara. All right, the descendants, right? So like that. So that it all has to be learned through the parampara system or disciplic succession. We have to receive knowledge from proper source in disciplic succession. All right, beginning with the supreme spiritual master, the Lord himself. Okay, and handed down to the succession of spiritual master, and handed down, okay, by the succession of spiritual master. So Arjuna, the student who took lesson from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. One who is not allowed, to accept one portion of Bhagavad Gita and not other. Okay, so sometimes you say, I'll take this one portion. This one I agree. This one I don't know. You shouldn't do that. Okay, no. We must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without deletion, or without our own whimsical participation in the matter. So that means when we want to read Bhagavad Gita, we have to accept the Gita as it is. Right? We shouldn't like so many books out there. There are more than 500 editions of Bhagavad Gita, and all of it they have their personal interpretation. The author will interpret whatever you feel like interpreting, and some things that you don't like, you just like delete. Just like how I said, "Thou shalt not kill," but now they alter it, they delete it, and they say, "Thou shalt not murder," like that. So, and without own whimsical participation. All right, the Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of the Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental source, and the first word was spoken by the Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are called aparusheya, meaning that they are different from the words spoken by the person of the mundane world. Okay, this word is important. This is one of the words that there's a questions that comes in Bhakti Sastri. If you're doing Bhakti Sastri, this is one of the questions they ask. What is aparusheya? So aparusheya means, that means they are different from the words spoken by a person of the mundane world. Okay, who is infected with what? 4 defects. So human being got 4 defects. Okay, and all the human beings are affected or infected with this disease. So what is that 4 mistakes? Number 1, human being sure to commit mistake. Is there anyone never committed mistake in your life? Sometimes we just say, shouldn't have done that. Because the nature of human being is to make mistake. Gandhi was warned not to go for the gathering, but he didn't listen and he was shot. He made a mistake, grievous mistake. Like that, there's so many people like Kennedy was warned, he also never listened, pang, shot down. So that means human being is sure to commit mistake. And number 2, human beings in invariably illusion. Right? Sometimes we just take things and we are under the hallucination, illusion. We can easily be carried away. All right? We are under illusion. And number 3, he has a tendency to cheat others. All right? So, did anyone cheat anyone? Have everyone not cheated anyone? In my previous class, there's a person says, no, I have not cheated anyone. All right? Now I say, if the policeman catch you, what will you do? Okay, say when you're driving and suddenly you hear, using your phone or something like that, a policeman stop you. Will you just say, yes, I did the mistake? We will try to make up story, right? I say like that's why when I drive, I don't keep my phone in what they call. I don't keep it in what mode is that? Silent. And another one is what? Without silent. What is the word opposite of silent? Okay, ringing mode. Ringing mode. I don't keep it. I keep it in silent mode. So one day I was talking. I was just holding like that. Suddenly the policeman saw me. He stopped. When he stopped, and I saw the thing, I just dropped the phone down. The phone fell down. And then they said, "Oh, Inche sedang cakap dalam phone." They said, "No, I was just holding my hand." No, they saw you. I said, "I didn't bring my phone." And the fellow said, "Give me your number." And the fellow, tada, because I don't keep vibration. Ya, saya tak bawa phone. Dari mana you dapat saya? Oh, tak ada phone lah. Mungkin you letak ni macam dia surat. Yalah, itulah. So cheating. Right? We are some or other, we have the tendency to cheat. Okay. And number 4, the another thing is we are limited with imperfect senses. Right? We cannot see things beyond our limit. We cannot hear beyond our limit. Okay. We cannot smell beyond our limit. So all these are imperfect. So with these 4 imperfection, one cannot deliver perfect information of all pervading knowledge. So when all these limitation we have, how are we supposed to present the perfect knowledge? So that is why all that perfect knowledge is adulterated and it's been simply manipulated. Okay. So with that reflection, let's start our chapter 17, the divisions of faith. So let's look at 17.1. Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidim utsirjya yajante shraddhayanvita teshang nishta tuka krishna sattvam aho rajastama. Arjuna inquired, "Oh Krishna, What is the situation of those who do not follow? Just give me a second. Okay. Oh, Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of scripture? So he's asking. So Arjuna is asking, what happened to those who do not follow the scripture? Okay. The principles of the scripture, but worship according to their own imagination. Okay. What happened to these kind of people? Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance? Okay. So why he asked that question? Because that is also the question, because Arjuna is representing us. He asked a perfect question and he got a perfect answer. So what happened to those people who worship according to their imagination? Okay. So where do they stand? Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance? And to that, Krishna replying, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehi Nangsa Svabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetitang Shrinu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature, acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this. So what Krishna says here, so according to the modes of nature, acquired, what does it mean acquired? All right, what does it mean by acquired? So acquiring, that means I acquire, that means I want it, I request it, I desire for it, therefore I got it. That's called acquiring. Receiving means what? All right, I received that present, I receive a gift. That means you never expect something, that people are giving you something, you are receiving. But acquiring means something that you acquire. That means you like procurement, you want it. So that means what is that mode of nature that we want? We acquire the scenario or the situation accordingly. All right, got it? Now let's look at 17.4. Okay, see what Krishna says. Yajante satvika devan yaksha rakshangshi rajasa pretan bhuta ganang chanye yajante tamasa jana. So what he says, Yajanti Satvika Devan. Satvika means in the mode of goodness. Yajanti, worship of Devan, demigods, devas. Yaksha, Rakshamshi, Rajasa. Those who in the mode of passion, Rajasic, they worship Yaksha and Rakshasa. Pretan. Pretan means forefathers. Okay, or Bhuta. Bhuta means ghost. Ganams. Ganam. In Tamil also they use the word Gana, right? Ganangal, Ganam. Ganam means it's like spirits. Okay, Yajanti, they are worshipping Tamasa. Tamasa means what? Mode of ignorance. So what we understand from here, man in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. All right, those in the mode of goodness, they worship the demigods, or we call devatas. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. Okay, say like for instance, okay, let's start from the demigods. So when a person in mode of goodness, right, they like to go and worship the devatas. So they do the ritual accordingly, like this is 9 days coming, Navaratri, right? 9 days. So the 9 days festival, they worship the three forms of mother, goddesses. First 3, second 3, and the final 3. And the 10th day is going to be Dasami, which is going to be this thing. At the same time, there's another understanding that that Navagraha, okay, so they worship that, and also they worship like in during Taipusam, they carry the kavadi and all. It's all in goodness. Because you see, these people, they are very spiritual, religious. They are very nice, humble people. They are some or other very sober, right? Okay, they are in the mode of goodness. But those in the mode of passion, they worship the demons, right? So demons means what? Okay, demons means what? So that means like demonic people, like human being. Okay, example, when you see that when you are in political party, all right, you worship your political this thing. Oh, vanga talivare, vanga, they pray. Oh, okay. Sometimes they fall at the feet. We've seen right in India such a nasty thing. So crazy, they simply can fall at people's leg, just because they are the leader. All right. And in fact, like when you watch that movie, all right, no, some say like the movie is released. All right, what they do, they make a big cutout and they go and pour milk on that actor and all these kind of nonsense things. All these are in the mode of passion, the worships of demonic people, demons, right? At the same time, there are some people also like worship this Ravana, thinking that Ravana is the He's a hero, like some Tamilians, especially in Sri Lanka and also even in Tamil Nadu. So these are the people who are in a mode of passion. And those in mode of ignorance, that means ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits, right? They worship like, they worship a certain kind of ghosts, and they always like to do the rituals at night. They do this Jibumba, all these, what is Jibumba means, what they call, they're doing all these kind of black rituals, right? So all these things are considered the worships of ignorance, like Hungry Ghost Festival, all right? All these things are considered in the worship of, in the mode of ignorance. All right, then after that, okay, we jump straight to 8 to 10. So now Krishna also explained what is that, the diet, all right? So he's going to explain about diet, character, and everything. So in verse 8 to 10, Krishna explains about the food. The food is actually very, very important, okay? Because the food is the what that nourishing our body. We are working hard, all right? We are working, we want to get a job, we're working hard. Of course, there's one sense gratification and everything. But the most important sense gratification is satisfying your belly, satisfying your tongue, and satisfying your stomach. Okay. So when you see in this what they call in this nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami will be explaining Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. All right. Udara Vegam. Okay. In English, the translation is a sober man must control the urge of the demand of the mind, the anger, the urge of the tongue, genital, and belly and genital. So when you see the mind, the belly, the tongue, the belly, and the genital in straight line, all right? And the one that need to be controlled is the tongue first. So once a person can control the tongue, he could control everything, especially. So now let's look at the food in these three modes. So when you look at the food in mode of goodness, how does it taste like? It's juicy, wholesome, fatty, pleasing to the heart. Fatty means what? Like it's like ghee, all right? Ghee and all this, it's like very pleasing to the heart. What is the effect? It increases duration of life, purify, strengthen, it will be very healthy, and of course, it's very satisfying. The food in the mode of passion. Okay, the food in mode of passion is too bitter. It's going to be very bitter, sour, pungent. Okay, what are the, okay? Pungent means what? Like what they call stinky bean, what they call patai. Patai is pungent, I think. So all these things, all right? Like durian, pungent. So too bitter, sour, pungent. And they are, and of course, salty, hot, dry, and burning. When you put it in the stomach, you have more start burning, right? So what is the effect? It creates distress, misery, and of course, disease. And what is the food in food of ignorance? So the food of ignorance is tasteless, decompose. What is decompose? Right? Like in Tamil, we call karvadi. All right? Karvadi. All right? The food that has been, say, like the fish, or in English, we call ikan kering. Like in Ipoh, there's a famous thing called salt chicken, salt chicken or something like that. I was wondering what is a salt chicken is all about. It was very famous. Like Ipoh now became a place of many people are coming here for holiday, and every Saturday and Sunday you see such a huge long queue will be standing in front of this ayam garam. I was thinking, what is that salt? Then I found out it is like koli karvade. Or the dry, they take the chicken and they put it in the, I think they keep it in a salt, right? It's like that, something like that. So that is also decomposed. Okay, decompose. That means decompose is like dried, like ikan kering and anchovies, like anchovies. All right, and also at the same time putrid, food consisting of remnants of untouchable things. All right, remnants are untouchable, like since the date stuff. Okay, like the date stuff, like they see that fish, chicken, and all these things are date. Okay, so what is the effect? It creates sleep, laziness, and of course merciless. See, like for instance, when we are eating animal, we can say, someone is slaughtering, who cares? I'm just eating only. But the thing is, he is slaughtering because there's demand. And some people may argue, all right, by me, one person stop eating, what is the effect? How much it's going to affect that non-slaughtering? It is just like this situation. This guy was arguing with me, and he's a very clean guy, right? He's very, very clean and everything. So purposely, what I did, he was sitting in, we were at the car. So I just took some rubbish from my car, and I just simply threw outside. He got so angry. He said, "Wow, how dare you to throw the rubbish like this? You are so, you call people, you think I mean, you look like a spiritual person, but you are so unethical, blah, 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 blah." He started. Then I just asked him that question. By me, one person throwing the rubbish, by me, one person throwing the rubbish in the dustbin, how much effect it's going to create, right? Not loud enough. Okay. So how much does it, how much changes or transformation is going to create by me, one person throwing the thing into the dustbin? Then he just looked at me and said, "Where are you heading?" I'm asking the same thing. When you, one person, become a vegetarian, you said, if I become one person, how much transformation is going to create to the environment or people? What is no? So now you understand. He said, "Yes, now I understood." So it's merciless. So we have no right to eat the carcass. All right, the carcass of the body of the animal, right? So anyway, so that's called merciless. All right, so now let's look at this sacrifice. Sacrifice means there's so many ways of doing sacrifice. Okay, so what are the sacrifice in the three modes? All right, so I just made it like this because we just can straight away go into 11 to 13. Okay. All right, sacrifice in the mode of goodness. What does it mean? Perform according to the scripture. So you perform that sacrifice or the fire sacrifice according to the scripture. Okay, you just do as a matter of duty, because you have to, when you call upon to do this sacrifice, this prayer, you have to employ a brahmana. That means you are doing dakshina to the brahmana, which is important. Dakshina means donation to the devotee. Then after that, there's so many people come and join that prayer. Then when you have to make sure that you provide them prasadam. You have to give them enough food. So that means you're doing charity. You are giving annadanam. So this is how you're doing. So that, if not this, what are the other ways that you can go to call everybody and give the charity at this? It's matter of duty. Okay, it's my duty is to feed a devotee and serve them. So what can I do? So the best thing is I just perform a fire sacrifice. I call everybody. I call a devotee. I call all the priests and everything. They come. Right. And then after the day, I just give him remuneration. I give him, serve him, and everyone who comes, I just bring them and say, "Please come and have dinner, lunch, serve them, all these things." So that's the thing. It's a matter of duty. Right. And of course, and when you do that, in the another thing, mode of this thing, goodness is desire no reward. We just do it for the sake of it. We don't expect any reward. Okay, that's in goodness. But those in mode of passion, what they do? Perform for some material benefit. Right? They do this thing, okay? Like that, the planet system, no? Like you do this Navagraha, or I do this Yagya, I do this fire sacrifice because I want some benefit. My business is very bad, so I do this thing, so I want to get, okay, for the thing. And of course, number two, also for the sake of pride, right? So again, I reflect back. Of course, yesterday I warned you not to do so, but I'm just reflecting back to my cousins. All right. Anyway, we shouldn't do that. You remember what you all understand what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I said, the
Yes,
demonic
yes,
people,
Prabhu,
my
I
relation.
remember.
Yeah. So don't think about it.
How can I forget, Prabhu? Yesterday.
See, yesterday I told you that, and now I'm thinking about it. So for the sake of pride, sometimes they make a big fire sacrifice and don't show. Look, not one priest, called the 4 priests. The fire is not tall enough. Pour more ghee inside. Try to show off. So
They
off.
wanted to try to do the yagya like how they did for Draupadi Mata's birth.
So that's the thing. So everyone is all trying to do something as a sake of pride. Okay, that is in the passion. But what happened in ignorance? Perform without regards of scripture. Simply do, don't care. Okay, without regards of scripture. No distribution of prasadam. You come and there's no food or prasadam is distributed. No chanting of Vedic hymns. All right, no chanting. And without faith, simply do just burn some cow dung and just sit there, do something like that. And of course, number 5, no remuneration to the priest. That means the priest is not paid. This is in the mode of ignorance. All right. So in 14, Krishna is saying, speaking about austerity of the body. What is that austerity of the body? Deva, Divija, Guru, Pranya. Deva means demigods, Devatas. Divija, Brahmanas, Guru, spiritual master. Pranya, okay. Pranya means like forefathers, okay. Parents and all this. Okay, again. Deva, Divija, Guru, Pranya, Puja, Nang, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsacha, Shariram, Tapa, Uchyate. What does this mean? So austerity of the body consists of worship of the Supreme Lord. Okay. So that means the austerity of the body. Okay. How are we going to perform austerity to the body? Okay. Deva Dvija. That means he's going to worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and the superiors like father and mother. Remember that. Okay. So when you have parents like, okay, now we have a young boy like Sri Ram. So you must always think the parents are worshipable. Worshipable means what? You don't put them in the altar and start to show ghee lamp. Worshipable means you must respect them, touch their feet. And every day when you live, touch them. There's so much respect. So that means these are the austerity of the body. All right. Superiors like father and mother. And in cleanliness, simplicity. All right. You have to be clean. All right. Cleanliness and simplicity. Make life simple. Celibacy. Celibacy means brahmacharya. All right. Celibate. That means we have to practice celibacy and non-violence. So we have to practice non-violence is the austerity of the body. All right, what does it mean celibacy? So you're young and handsome, or even nowadays, even the people, even like oldies also, like oldies like around 40s, 50s. All right, they also still like, the guys, especially that day I saw one guy, he was like in the barber shop, he's cutting. I said, I was thinking, what this guy is up to? And after that, you look like a jeans with a tight shirt, like those days in 70s, 60s. He still want to look so attractive. So what does that mean? Attractive. Attractive is to attract someone. Right? then after that, he left that the barber. I told the barber, what this old man is up to? Because all white beard, but he very nicely cut his hair. He trimmed his beard so nice. He looks so handsome, even though I think he should be around 50s. Then that guy saying, yeah. I said, this old man, I mean, this guy, what is he up to? He said, when even a girl give you a second look, it's something very exciting. Even the girl can be as young as his granddaughter, but the girl says, wow, look at him. That kind of things gives him they give him excitement. So to prevent that is austerity. All right? Celibacy. Okay? And non-violence. Now, another thing which is very important. This is very important as a conflict resolution. I used to teach this in conflict resolution. So conflict resolution means how can we avoid conflict? How can we prevent conflict, and how can we think before we talk? Vacho vegam, the urge to speech. All right, when a person can filter what he speak, the world will be better place. Right? But sometimes, nowadays all the keyboard warriors simply whack nicely, just whatever they think in their heart, they just simply say, criticizing other people, other religion, other races, and all these kind of nonsense things happening, right? So this is something very important. This is called civilized people. Civilized people is the one who knows how to control them. So what is that? So Krishna explained about the austerity of speech, right? Anudvega karangvakyam satyang priya hitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanang chaiva vanmayang tapa uchyate. What does that mean? Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. So that means in austerity of speech means, first of all, before we want to speak, we must find out, okay, when we want to speak, we always can make it that, is it true? Because you want to be truthful. Okay. And how are you going to, by how are you going to speak the truth? You cannot randomly, you cannot like lambast, right? Lambast. That means you cannot simply open. All right. Being frank is good, but you must also think about other people's emotion, empathy. Okay. So how? Being truthful. Yes, fair enough. You are truthful. But how are you going to convey it pleasingly? You have to speak very pleasing. It's very nice to speak pleasingly. You do not need to act. All right. Or you sometimes they say, oh, if you speak very pleasingly means you are a, I mean those days they say it's a type of flirt. All right. Guys will talk very pleasingly to girls, but to other guys, they just can't be bothered. They just whack. So you must understand, you have to speak truthful, you have to be truthful. And secondly, whatever message that you want to convey, you convey it very pleasingly. All right, you must be very pleasing. At the same time, you also must think, is this conversation of mine, is it beneficial or not? Is it beneficial? Right? If I want to speak something to someone, is it going to be beneficial? Right? Okay. At the same time, not agitating to others. It's very important. Sometimes we see like people who simply talk nonsense, simply like just open the mouth, all the things will come out. Right? So this is something in mode of, this is the austerity of speech. So always think about it. Okay. Number one, is it true? Is it pleasing? Or is it beneficial? Is it true? Yes, it's true. Is it pleasing to do? Nah, it's not pleasing. Is it beneficial to tell the person? Nah, no. And if it's going to agitate, yes, it's going. So just don't speak. Right? Sometimes when we hear something, we just feel like, oh, I want to talk. I want to go on talking. No. So you just think about it. Even in your relationship with your wife, your children, even with your parents, with your spouse, all this, just think about it. So just think. That means I'm not saying that you do not talk to them. All right. Of course, you need to speak to your family members and all, but just think about it. All right. Is it pleasing or is it beneficial or is it agitating? Speak very pleasingly. All right. At the same time, speak only if the thing is going to be beneficial, if something, and make sure that it doesn't agitate anyone. And to control this, it's austerity. Sometimes when you get angry, we feel like just tell them off. But at the same time, you just think, is it important? Is it beneficial? Is it definitely good? So by doing that, it's austerity of speech. Okay, actually, I'm trying this now. And then austerity of the mind. What is that austerity of the mind? Okay. Mana prasada samyatvam mauna atma vinigraha bhavashang shuddhir ityetat tapo manasam uchyate. What does this mean? And satisfaction. So austerity of the mind means satisfaction, simplicity, gravity. Gravity means grave, very grave. All right. Self-control, purification of one's existence are the austerity of the mind. So that means satisfaction. How can we attain satisfaction? Simplicity, being grave. All right. Gravity, being very grave. Self-control. How? That's what I'm saying. When you just go on chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and study the Bhagavad Gita, this kind of character will come to you naturally. When the thing comes to you naturally, it sticks with you. If it's going to be whimsical or you're going to just acquire this thing, it doesn't work that way. All right. So chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, it will somehow or other will bring this kind of austerity of the mind. All right. Now let's look at this. Types of austerities. There are many types of austerities. All right. So the austerity is the mode of goodness. Okay. Austerity means you're performing some severe vow. Okay. You have taken one vow and when you're like controlling yourself. Okay. First is austerity in the mode of goodness. What is that austerity in the mode of goodness? Okay. Perform out of transcendental faith. But people perform this because of good faith, transcendental faith, not expecting material benefit. Right? Not expecting material benefit. And for the sake of pleasing the Supreme. Okay. The austerity made of passion for the sake of pride. Right? Example like Hiranyakasipu, like Ravana. All of them are all wanted to do this kind of severe austerity. All right? For what? Okay?
They
because
always want to gain respect, Prabhu.
Yeah, pride. That's the thing. Pride. You are right. They want pride, they want power, and they want to enjoy in the heavenly kingdom.
Yeah.
They want to conquer them. So pride. So what is it? For the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship. That when I was young, there was one guy. He was quite well known because he was there's a place called Slibin in my area. And there was a waterfalls. Of course, now the place are developed and all the place are spoiled. But that time was still jungle, virgin jungle. It's a beautiful place. So this guy go there and sit up to that what they call shoulder level, and he meditates. All right. He go and sit there and meditated for 3 days. For 3 days. Then after that, he came back. Then after that, he went and continued his meditation. He tried to do it for 7 days or something like that. And of course, that time the rangers, right, the police sultan came and chased him out. Hey, poda, chase him away. What, you're sitting in the water at night, right? So they chased him away. But that incident made him very famous. And after that, you see, in any temple they call and everything. That fly is nothing. Suddenly he became a big sadhu. All right. So that's the thing. So they're all doing for the honor and worship. Okay, this is passion. But what happened to the ignorance? Austerity in mode of ignorance. Okay, foolishness. Okay, perform out of foolishness, like self-torture. Like, they chucho here, like Kavadi, Taipusam, you see the flow keeping 20 foot, 10 foot, and they put it like this, and jumping. It's self-torture,
God
destroy
didn't
or
ask
injure others. All right. And this is all out of foolishness, right? So one day in Taipusam, I was doing this Sankirtan. I was having the Mardanga. I was just playing. Then I was saying, okay, let's take a break. My hand was swollen. So I just put the thing and I just went inside. Saw these jokers were coming. 20 foot, the thing, they pierce into the mouth. 20 foot. He's a young fella. And the floor holding her. And suppose he saw some girls there and he started to show off. Like they play the drum. You jump.
Oh
You know
my
what happened?
God.
Suddenly the thing peeled and fell out. The whole thing peeled the thing out. The thing is like chucho inside. All the entire thing got torn and the thing fell out. He just like that, and the blood was oozing out from the mouth. Right? And everybody saw you.
God.
And I saw first time. And it just happened right in front of me. I was just standing there, I think around maybe 5 feet away or 10 feet away.
This
He was
happened
coming and he was
Prabhu.
dancing like so wildly, the whole thing tear the mouth and came out.
This
And
happened.
he, Ipola.
Oh my God.
So then the thing happened, and after that they immediately came, they took the one red cloth and put around the thing and just hold him. Imagine the pain that is went through. The whole thing tear his mouth. So this is what they call foolishness. All right? Foolishness. All right. Now there's a festival in Ipoh starting, that 9 days festival. There's an area called Tau Bo Kiong. Oh, that is even scary. They take the screw, they take even the parang, all these things. So this is all in the austerity in the mode of ignorance. All right. Self-torture, destroy or injure others. Okay. Now charity. Okay. It's already 8:30. Do you all need a short break?
Is it a long chapter, Prabhu?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a break.
Let me see how many verses.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. We are in 2022. Oh yeah, it's quite long. Okay. Now it's 8:36. We just take a 2 minutes break. Just get up, stretch your hand, and come back.
Okay, Prabhu.
Because this is going to be more interesting, so I need to explain a lot of things here. Okay, take a short break. Hey, where's the thing? Okay. Okay, so we continue. Right. Wrong. All right. So we just discussed about austerity. All right. What is the austerity in the modes? All right. So now we continue with charity. Okay. There's lots of charity that people love to give. All right. People love to give charity. Now the question is it okay to give charity to the beggars, or is there something that is to be avoided? Okay. Now let's look at that. So now the charity that we give, also it falls under the 3 modes of material nature. Okay, what is that? So when you give charity in the mode of goodness, that means you're giving it dutifully, right? This is my duty and I'm giving charity because it's my job. Okay, because I need to maintain the thing. I'm just dutifully, respectfully. Dutifully means respectfully. Okay, no expectation of any returns. You don't expect anything, any returns and everything. Okay, you also must give that charity in the proper place and proper time. Okay, and of course, the most important, to a worthy person. Okay, that's when is the charity is important. And the charity in the mode of passion, how does it work? That means you do give with the expectation of return. You give some charity. You give some example, like for instance, like in Malaysia, there's a big businessman like to give charity, especially to the police force. Like to give charity to this whenever there's a sultan, like the Malaysian ruler or the politician wants to play golf, they give one hamper charity because just want to show off. Because end of the day, they want to get that what do they call? What do you call it? Capital recognition. Like for instance, like in England, we call sir. They want to be knighted. Or in Malaysia, they want dato-ship, dato and all these things. So they give this thing with expectation, some returns, right? And for the desire for fruits, with desire of fruits, that means you're expecting to get some benefit. I give you this charity, what I'm going to get, right? So in a grudging mode, sometimes people give in a grudging mode. Okay, example, sometimes when we Hare Krishna, people go out, right? When we go out, when we do this Sankirtan, I say, Hare Krishna, will you like to take some books? We are doing this Food for Life program. Do you like to give some fare? Yeah, you Hare Krishna plus always money. Nah, take and go. So that is what they call grudging mood. I mean, not only Hare Krishna, I'm just speaking from my experience, but in everywhere. Sometimes when you see a Buddhist monk come, this got nothing else to do, go and look for a job, nah. That's grudging, all right? In a grudging mood, okay? That's in the mode of passion. And in the mode of ignorance, like how? At impure place, at the improper time, to an unworthy person, without proper attention and respect. Example, this is quite example. I'm not sure whether you all have experienced that, but I have experienced it, right? Whenever, sometimes when I've seen, especially in when a person go for a drink, right? They go for a drink. So they'll be happily boozing. So there's one particular restaurant and all this. Then I was just, I went there for some reason, waiting for a client. That I was doing business. I was waiting for a client. Suddenly, I see a group of guys who are sitting and boozing, all right, drinking beer, talking big and everything. At that time, suddenly one guy, I think is a beggar, he came. He said, give me money, something like that. So, when the person goes high, what will happen? Right? Hey, what do you mean money? Come. You think what? I can give. The guy was at the other side. He just called, come. Just want to show off, right? Okay. What happened? He just took something, I think 10 or 20 ringgit. He just throw at him. Nah, take it. All right. And want to show off. So what happened? He's giving the charity in an impure place. At night, where the place where it's like a run, is like a not a nightclub, it's like a bistro, like a restaurant, and people are drinking and boozing. So he gave the charity in an impure place. At what time? At improper time, around 10 o'clock at night, when the things are all because he wants to drink. Then after the flask, so you want to drink? Come. Hey, call the waiter, give him a bottle of beer. All drunk. So these are the things. To unworthy person. And of course, without proper attention and respect. Nah, take and go, throw the money. So this is what? Charity in the mode of ignorance. So when you look at this nectar of instruction by Rupa Goswami in verse 4, what it says, Dadati pratigrinnati guhyam akyati prichati bhungte bojayate chaiva sat shatvidang priti lakshanam. So what it says here, offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasadam, offering prasadam are 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee to another. This is how the devotees are exchanging their love by charity. All right. So there are 6 kinds of activity, which is number 1, giving charity to the devotees, accepting from a devotee whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to a devotee, inquiring from them about the confidential service to the Lord, honoring prasadam or spiritual food given by the devotees and feeding the devotees with prasadam. So this is all this called charity in the mode of transcendental goodness. So now we're talking about goodness, passion, ignorance. But this kind of charity is beyond that, which is called the transcendental goodness. So giving charity, accepting charity, and all charitable gifts and all these are very auspicious thing. So that's why they say, whenever we want to go and visit a person, especially, even when we go and visit a devotee, we shouldn't go empty-handed. We have to bring some gift. We have to bring, like in Indian culture, they bring one tambalam, right? They give one tray, they put fruits and everything. They say, when they go there, they give the tray. Please accept. They don't go empty-handed. So once the person accepts the gift, you know what they'll do? They don't take everything away. They just take some and they add on some and they return back the tray with some gift. That is accepting and receiving. Accepting and giving. That is the culture of the Vedic way of life. All right, let's look at 1723. Om Tat Sat Iti Nirdesho Brahmanastri Vida Smrta Brahmanastena Vedascha Yaknascha Vihita Pura. What does that mean? From the beginning of creation, Krishna says, the three words Om Tat Sat was used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. Om means, absolute truth. These three symbolic representation were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So like sometimes when people say Om Tat Sat, what does that mean? Om is addressing the Lord, right? So, okay, now the explanation is in the next slide. Okay, now let's look at the verse 23 and 26. 23 to 26, what it says? Om Tat Sat are the words taken from the Vedic hymns indicating the absolute truth or Lord Krishna. So what is Om? Om iti etat brahmano nedistam nama. That means, Tat means Tat Tvam Asi, Chandogaya Upanishad. Sat means Sat Eva Saumya. Okay, that means Om Tat Sat means, Om means transcendentalist undertaking performance of sacrifice, charity and penance in accordance with the scriptural regulation begins always with Om to attain the Supreme. Because what Krishna says, I am the vibration Om. Okay, before they do any kind of fire sacrifice or do charity or do penance, they always start with this thing called Om Tat Sat. So Om. So Tat means what? Tat means without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kind of sacrifice. Okay, without expanding, you sacrifice penance and charity with the word Tat. Sat means what? The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice. The absolute truth. That means the absolute truth means that Krishna is the objective of devotional sacrifice. And it is indicated by the word Sat. All right. So when we start to give charity, when we see, so what is that? Number one, Om means addressing the Lord. Okay, I'm starting this thing. Okay. That means I'm saying I am doing this charity or this penance or performing the sacrifice. Okay, what sacrifice you think about? Say like chanting the holy name of Krishna. All right, I'm just doing this because I want to satisfy Krishna. I'm doing this. So start with Om. Om means sacrifice. That means I don't expect any result from this. I'm not expecting any result from these whatever things that I'm performing now, because I know that everything is meant for the satisfaction of the Lord. Sat means the absolute truth is the objective of this devotional service. You all get it? Okay. Now, the penance, sacrifice, charity, and foods when aimed at the Supreme, Om Tat Sat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they become means for spiritual elevation. That means what? The penance, the sacrifice, the penance means the act of devotional service, penance, sacrifice, Tyaga. Tyaga means what is the sacrifice of Kali Yuga? Like chanting the holy name. The charity, when we are giving charity or we are giving food, okay, when aimed at the Supreme, that means what? The food, that means we offer to Krishna, the charity that we offer to, that means aimed at the Supreme, which is called Om Tat Sat, the Supreme Personality Godhead. They become means for spiritual elevation. So all these things, sacrifice that we perform, we have to aimed at the Supreme Lord. Not simply giving charity for the sake of it, not simply eating for the sake of it. All right, let me say like I eat what is something very juicy, which is mode of goodness. If I eat something putrid, it's a mode of passion, ignorance. All right. When we talk about penance, all right, in the mode of goodness for the sake of God, and the mode of passion is to get honor and respect. All right. In the mode of this thing, in the mode of ignorance, it's a self-torture, foolishness. Okay. Then what else? Charity. Charity in the mode of goodness, don't expect anything. Charity in the mode of passion, you expect something. Charity in the mode of ignorance, is just improper place, improper person to unworthy person. So all these things we have studied. But here the conclusion here is what? All right. What is that conclusion here? The conclusion here is when all these things are what they call spear. That means it's like dovetail, or it become like aimed or dovetail to the Supreme, to Krishna. So this activity of penance, sacrifice, charity, and food, it is called Om Tat Sat, because they become means for spiritual elevation. And this is called beyond the three mode of material nature, which we call it as the transcendental mode. Are you all following me this? Anyone confused?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm following.
Yes means what? You're confused or what?
No. I'm not confused. Okay.
You understand, eh?
Yeah.
Just give me a second. It's raining. 1 second. Eh? Okay. Anyone else? Everyone understand?
Yes, Ji.
So what Krishna says here, by explaining all the three mode of material nature, eventually he's telling, aim everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Person. So, yes, who's this? Zoom is Chan Prabhu, yes.
Prabhu, Dandavat. According to
Dandavat
this
Pranam.
message, these penance, sacrifice, charity are actually the basis of life, is it?
Okay.
In our
Yep.
That's why we need to dovetail to the higher purpose. Actually, this division is to tell us to come into this spiritual elevation. That is the purpose.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. No, see,
Thank you.
the purpose is like this. You are giving charity, fair enough. Because there's a human purpose of life that we perform penance. That means we do something, right? Every human being like to perform penance. All right. Example, like especially when you look at like Hindus, right? They like to carry milk on Thaipusam day to go and offer to Lord Muruga. They like to go for Thaipusam. They take all the milk and go and pour it. And they love to do sacrifice. I mean, they do like this fire sacrifice and all these things they do. All right. People love to do. And charity. Everyone does charity. Okay. They join these and they join this Lions Club, Leo's Club, or whatever club, Rotary Club. Then after that, what? Makna, giving money to the Makna, Majlis Cancer Nagara, the Cancer Association. All right. And at the same time, people also like to eat food. They are foodies. Everyone travel extra mile to go have a good food. All right. This is very common. So now, that's what Krishna says, the penance. Example, now you're going to offer milk on Thaipusam. You are carrying the pot of milk. You're walking from the house to the temple. So what we usually do, we take that pot of milk, we offer that milk to Krishna and take it as prasadam and offer it to Lord Murugan. When that thing happens, the Devata, Lord Muruga, will be very pleased with you. All right? He'll be very happy with you. He'll be very satisfied with you because you're offering prasadam to him. So that means that offering of penance dovetail to Krishna. Now I'm doing sacrifice, all right? I'm doing this fire sacrifice. Then what I'll do, okay, I will call all the people and I do this, what they call Sahasranama Yagya and all this Yagya that to glorify Krishna. All right? So that means the sacrifice I'm doing dovetail to Krishna. The charity. Don't simply give charity to something which is going to be waste. Like for instance, Magna. You know, when you're the Maybank, the guys will be standing there and say, please sign. They'll give you one big whiteboard. Please sign. I say, sign for what? No, sign your support. Then after you sign, they said, why not you donate 5 ringgit every month or 10 ringgit every month or 20 ringgit every month so that they're going to have enough money for the cancer research. And the guy who are doing that, they're getting paid. They take what they call, they take commission. Say like if you give 100 ringgit in donation, the organization will get something like 30 ringgit goes to them. And out of the 30 ringgit, 20 ringgit go to the guy who stand on the roadside and ask you to sign for the, do the charity, right? Because why I'm telling you this, because I was involved in that company before. Okay. Because my division was different and that's another division. When I was young, I used to do that. I was in credit card division, but this another division called advertisement. So they simply go and says, can you come and sign? Can you donate 100 ringgit every month? So the money that you donate, they'll get a percentage. Only 60 to 70% only goes to them, Magna. And of course, they say you can claim insurance. I mean, you can claim your tax exempted. So this is the thing. Charity. Your charity going to the wrong person. And I mean, it's supposed to be mercy, and people are utilizing that mercy for their livelihood. So when you participate, of course, you also get your karma. Say you give the money to the drunkard, and the fellow go and buy one samsu and drink. Finish. You're going to get it. If we just going to eat by beef ramly burger, you're going to get it. Right? So that's why they said. So you like to do charity. Okay. Now you love to eat. You love to eat all kinds of food. Right? So now, why not you dovetail the food to Krishna? Cook something very nicely without onion, garlic, egg, and without any any meat. Prepare it and offer it to Krishna, and you eat it. Right? When you eat it, so what happened? So when you eat, you feel very healthy. You see, when you dovetail everything to Krishna, that means all this act that you love to do, penance, sacrifice, charity, and food, will be the cause of your spiritual elevation. Like before that we studied, right, in chapter 5, what Krishna says, whatever things you do, whatever benefit that you're going to get, offer it to me. Right? Example, when you're working, right? When you're working, you go to work. Okay, say if I'm a doctor, I go and treat patient, I go to treat sick people. Is there a devotional service? No. Right? I go to the work, I see all the sick people, all have not bathed for days. They come and stand in front of you. I just take this medicine, take this. I just prescribe medicine. Am I doing a devotional service? No. But when I get the salary end of the month, and I take a portion of the salary and give charity for the sake of propagating Krishna consciousness, for the sake of distributing books, for the sake of giving food that offered to Krishna, that kind of charity. So what happened? My entire salary becomes sanctified. All right? My entire salary becomes purified. So when that salary becomes sanctified, the source of that salary is my job treating the patient. So the treating the patient becomes devotional service. So everything becomes means of spiritual elevation. Right? That's what we study in chapter 5. The same thing Krishna says here. The penance, sacrifice, charity, and food, make it or dedicate or aim it to me, dovetail to me. So everything will be for spiritual elevation. Right? So austerity aim at the supreme. Or sometimes what we can do. So what are the simple austerity that we can think about, aim for Krishna? Right? Like Ekadasi. Like this Saturday is Ekadasi. Okay. So Ekadasi is a time that it comes 11th day of the calendar. Right? Waning and waxing moon every 11th day. On that day, you fast on Ekadasi. So how you fast? Right? There's a lot of terms called meat-tarian, that-tarian, this-tarian, milk-tarian, and all these things. So on that day become fruitarian. That means you fast by not taking any solid food, but you just fast by only eating fruits. Just eat varieties of fruits. Of course, don't take lemon, orange, or nanas, right? Pineapple is going to give you a very uncomfortable situation when you're fasting. But you can take all other fruits like mango, like papaya, and all these local fruits. So fast on the day. So that means that's austerity that you can perform. fasting on Ekadasi day. Then, of course, comes Janmashtami, the day of Krishna's birth, right? From morning till midnight. You fast on that day. So these kind of holidays, you simply fast in remembrance of Krishna. It is called austerity in the aim of Supreme, right? So the sacrifice aim at the Supreme. So what are the sacrifices you can think of, right? It's not easy and it's not cheap to do fire sacrifice. When you invite a priest, right, he will charge you nothing less than 1,000 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken, with current rate. Things that are all very expensive. So what are the things that you need to do fire sacrifice? You need to have a pure wood, especially sandalwood. Can you imagine, can you buy sandalwood? Never. It's very expensive. One small piece of sandalwood can cost you what? Hundreds. So then you need to have a proper wood from mango tree, from a jackfruit tree, and all these things. Number one. Number two, you need to use pure ghee. Sometimes when you go to the shop, you can look at the ghee. The ghee says not edible, only for prayers. What does that mean? Not edible. You know, sometimes when you take the prayer thing, you go to the prayer shop, you just take one ghee. You take the ghee and see behind, not edible, only for prayer. That means it's all what they call, this ghee has been adulterated. That they don't recommend you to eat it because it's so terrible. It's like adulterated. Like what happened recently in Tirupati, right? They start to look for a cheap ghee. End up they got a ghee that made of pork lard, beef, taro or something, beef taro, and got some pig and beef and fish, this thing there. And they sent to Tirupati. Can you imagine the big Tirupati prasadam, the laddu, that Vishnu prasadam, all tainted with beef, pork, and fish. So how are we going to do? And if you want to buy a pure edible ghee, can you think about it? It's very expensive, right? Then after that, the thing that the environment and the priest must be able to chant the mantra properly, right? Okay, there's one example I used to give. Sometimes one word got different meaning. One word has two meaning. Can you think of any word? Yeah, can't remember the word. So when that word you express differently, it has different meaning. Okay. So what happened if the priest chant the mantra wrongly? What's going to happen? Think about it. So that's why I say this fire sacrifice is not recommended in Kali Yuga. And you must have all that pure ingredient. All that herbs, all must be pure. But now they all create all the herbs from, they can take low, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade herbs. Just simply throw into the fire only. So they're doing just matter of ritual. That means don't expect. That means they're not doing it properly. So what sacrifice can you do in Kali Yuga? So the Kali Yuga sacrifice is Sankirtana Yagna or Kali Yuga. Sankirtana. Krite yat dhyayato Vishnum Tretayam yajato makai Dvapare paricharyayang Kalau tat dari kirtanat. Whatever result obtained in Satya Yuga, the first Yuga, in meditation to Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifice, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord Lotus feet or deity worship, can be obtained in Kali Yuga. All this benefit you can obtain in Kali Yuga. How? I like this word. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we go on chanting this, we are all the perfection of the first age, first millennium, the Satya millennium. Second was Treta, Dwapara, all the things that can be performed or can achieve, you can simply achieve just by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So charity aim at the Supreme. So what are the charities you can think of? Helping propagating Krishna consciousness by donating money for book distribution. All right. You can give charity to distribute books. Building Krishna temple, like now this Mayapur project is coming up. And of course, Prasadam distribution, that we're doing a Food for Life program. So the book distribution is something that we are performing here. And of course, now we are aiming of printing that Chinese books. We are working on it. So the printer gave us a quotation. Now the price has went up, but now the price has gone down because the USD became so weak against the dollar, against the ringgit. The ringgit gone stronger. So I think the price should go down. Waiting for the final price. So we plan to print 1,000 books, Chinese books, coming back, right? That book, and we plan to do this thing. So that's the thing. So doing charity for that, it's considered, it is aim at supreme. So what is that? Food. Whatever things that you love to eat. What do you like to eat? All the thing you prepare nicely and you just offer to Krishna and just eat it as Mahaprasadam. All right. Simple as that. So that's the thing. So take the formula, take the commitment, RDC formula, read Prabhupada's book, read Bhagavad Gita daily, distribute Bhagavad Gita if you can, and chant Hare Krishna. So by just doing this, distribute Gita and chant 16 rounds of the Japa Mala, and you read Bhagavad Gita, study every day, every single day without fail, you start to see your life will transform in a really fantastic way, right? So with that, we end the session. Is there any questions, any comment?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah.
No, Prabhu, no question.
Okay. So tomorrow no class because tomorrow I'm having this Namahat program. First garden Namahat in Ipoh. So Friday is going to be chapter 18. So chapter 18 is one of the longest, it's another long chapter, more than 70 verses. And I divided the thing into two, but of course now I synchronized into one. All right. So it may take a little longer time. So I hope that you all can tolerate that. So so after Friday, then that's going to be the end of batch 2. So batch 3, we are starting back on 7th October until 27th October. But the batch 3 session is going to be every day except Thursday. Like here we are doing it, we didn't do it on Saturday and Sunday, but that batch 3 is going to be every day. Every day except Thursday, because Thursday I'm having this Namahat program. All right. So fast we have already in chapter 17. I hope that I have served you well. I hope that whatever things that I've expressed myself up to chapter 17 has created some kind of impact in you, inspire you to take up this chanting and reading, because there's no other way other than this. Okay. So is there any questions, any comment? At the same time, I also request, kindly help me to promote this thing on for the October program. So we hope that to have many people to join us and to see a good transformation. Yes, Prahlad Prabhu.
Just one reflection, Prabhu, that this chapter 17 has this title, Divisions of Faith. You spoke nicely about foods in the 3 modes, then sacrifice also. And you even explained charity, but and often we hear about goodness, passion, ignorance. Is here. But the question comes now, again, as a reflection, I'm asking for everyone's benefit. How does these 3 modes affect one's Shraddha? Because Shraddha can be divided into these 3 modes also.
Okay. Can you say the Shraddha in English? Because all of them are new devotees, new people. They don't understand Shraddha.
Shraddha means faith. Shraddha means faith. One's internal mood that is developed like a
Faith.
seed. Faith, which begins to blossom.
Yes. So the question is, Prahlad Prabhu is asking a question. He's saying, how can these 3 mode of this thing can increase one's faith? That's a question, right, Prabhu?
More or less, but it is divided. How is one Shraddha divided within goodness? Shraddha any mode of ignorance, Shraddha any mode of passion, Shraddha any mode of goodness.
Okay. Say, like, for instance, when we are engaging in say, like, in our normal way of life, everything that happens, all our belief systems and everything happens all from our understandings, our experience, and there's a subtle things called faith, right? So we all moving and evolving around. So when we talk about the three modes of material nature, okay, it's divided by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Depends on we are acting all that charity and all say charity, the food that we eat, the what they call the austerity that we perform, all according to the mode that we are in, right? Mode that we are in. Example, when you see like okay, what example I can take? Right, take in the say like example, prayer or worship. In worship, there are three modes. Okay, I'm not sure whether you have this thing called estates in Trinidad. Do you have estates there?
Aesthetic, sages, more or
No,
less.
estate.
Yeah,
Estates.
estate. Yep.
Plantation estates, right?
Yep.
So when you see the people who are there in estates, the way they pray and perform their sacrifice and everything is in the mode of ignorance, because that is the mode that they are in. So they worship a kind of devatas which is called in the lower category. All right, like example like Bhadragali, okay, or in Malaysia they have this thing called like Muniswaran or Muniandi or something like that. So they are in that mode because they are naturally in that mode. So their shraddha or their faith is in that. So what they perform is they usually like slaughter goat, and they perform a sacrifice like walking on the fire, and and of course rolling on the ground, and all these kind of penance they perform, because that is the mode that they are naturally in. Okay, and when we come to the town, okay, when we come to the town and city, we see the same shraddha, the same faith, the same worship is performed by city dweller who are financially sound. So how they perform? They perform that prayer in a very show-off way. Example, like if those people who are from KL, Klang, there's a place called Perumal Temple in Klang, Temple of Vishnu. Suddenly you see the person who take that ubaya or take that puja on that day, who sponsored that puja prayer, you can see that person will be in fine dress. And you see the ladies will be all fully dressed in gold. And of course, what you expect is the priest will garland and tie one cloth on the head. And the way he walk and talk and act, the reason that he's doing that kind of prayer for the sense of passion. So you just want to show off his wealth, his power, because especially in that Vishnu temple, you want to do this prayer, it's very expensive. It's very, very, very expensive. So when they perform, can do maybe one time you do prayer can cost you what, 5,000 or 10,000 or something. It's very expensive. So they like to take up that. So they are in the mode of passion. Okay, and the prayers in the mode of goodness. Okay, the praise in the mode of goodness is when we worship. Okay, when we worship Krishna for the sake of say, like for instance, I'm very disturbed. Okay, or say like okay, I am okay, like this. The praise in the mode of goodness is when we start to worship devatas. Okay, we worship devatas like the devatas like Lord Kartikeya, Lord Shiva, Brahma. Nobody worships Brahma here. Then who else? Like Mother Parvati in the form of Mariamman. So this kind of prayers is in the mode of goodness. So they perform that prayers in a very sober way, without any big this thing. So they worship in sober way, and these are the people usually they look very calm, very composed, and they also will be very charitable. So people who are in the mode of goodness is the one that can easily be elevated into the transcendental mode, the worships of Krishna or Vishnu. So worshipping Krishna and Vishnu is beyond these three mode of material nature. We call as transcendental mode that we study in chapter 18 later, tomorrow, Friday. So when we go into that mode of transcendental, so what is that mode that is very conducive to go into this transcendental goodness is when we are in that mode of goodness. Okay, like example, all those devotees who take up devotional service or Krishna service are the people who are naturally in the mode of goodness. All right, I have seen a person who are very devout Christian, devout Buddhist, and these are the people because they are naturally in the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness is not only here. We are talking even when we talk about Christianity, even when we talk about Buddhism, we talk about other religion. There is still someone in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. So those who are in the mode of goodness is the one that they could think, or they could easily transcend into the mode of transcendental goodness, or they can accept Krishna easily. Okay, have I answered you, Prabhu?
For the benefit of everyone, yes, because as you covered that in the beginning, Psalm 17.4, that was covered there. So the idea is that we don't want to be caught in karma bandhanam, and the gunas will keep us wrapped up, bring
Yes.
ourselves higher to goodness, and beyond that is Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. Otherwise, here we will remain in this materially conditioned life, suffering, enjoying like that continuously.
Exactly. That's what Krishna will reveal in chapter 18. You know?
Yes.
So now you're talking, now Krishna is talking about penance, he talk about food, he talk about sacrifice, he talk about worship. That once we go to chapter 18, that's when Krishna is going to go straight to the point. Transcend this mode and simply surrender to me. Right? Of course, let it be a surprise. We will discuss that in chapter 18 on Friday. Okay?
Acha.
Okay. Any other questions? Any reflection?
No, Prabhu, but I personally like Prahlad Prabhu's question. It's very, very good question, and
Very good.
it really opened our mind like widely. Yeah, we observe it, but we sometimes we don't care about it because we are all too busy with our own lives, right? So we will just move on from that. We will forget. But when Prahlada Prabhu asked this question, we can rewind and think about what we have done before this and how we can actually make bhakti our bhakti journey in a better way in future. So
Yeah.
it actually helps us to open our minds. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Prabhu, for the question, and thank you for the explanation, Prabhu. You
Yeah.
really explained it very detailedly. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Prahlad Prabhu is a great scholar. Prahlad Prabhu was my classmate in Chaitanya Charitamrita class. And when Prahlad Prabhu was presenting some of the topics of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh my God, I'm having a goosebump now. He's such a great scholar.
Not really,
Such a
Prabhu. It's by the mercy of all the devotees that I have a little intelligence. Otherwise, I have no intelligence. Just to serve, I pray. Haribol.
Yes, Haribol. So he's very wonderful devotee. And I'm happy to work with him now. You know, I have a goal that how we can spread this Gita Gyan program worldwide. So now I'm happy that he's here. So this is going to be the second region that we are going to go in. First was Myanmar, Burma, and now it's going to be Trinidad Tobago. So soon,
Yes.
I'm looking forward for Chinese devotees who can take up teaching these teachings in Mandarin language. I've been working with this Prabhu called C.S. Tan, and C.S. Tan is a devotee that just developed from our previous session. from what they call from batch 1, right? He was formerly with other teaching, but now we have taken up bhakti very seriously. And today he called me up. He spoke to me about the possibilities of translating this in Chinese or Mandarin, of course. But of course, so anyway, I said, let's keep this in mind. We are only aspiring to do for Krishna. Since in mundane world, we are setting so much of goals, why not we set goals to reach out to the Chinese and even do this Gita Gyan program, Chinese version. Let's see what Krishna has in his mind. All right. All right. So it's my great pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you so much. I'm very honored. So again, tomorrow is a break. Tomorrow, no class. We meet again on Friday at 7:30. And it's going to be chapter 18. Then after that, after 1 week, we're going to start back in on the 7th October. So please do me a favor, share this message to everyone, encourage everyone to join in. So, and everyone will definitely thank you. All right. Like how Shanti Samantha Mataji was telling that she's so thankful to the person Sri, which I don't know who is he. He said, you go for this program, you'll understand a lot of things. So that's why she's here with her daughter. Of course, she just came in around chapter 13 or 14. And of course, Rusan Mataji was introduced by this devotee from Taiping. What is his name? Yaduraj. Right. So she came. So of course, they're going to start back fresh. Of course, now it's just they came halfway, but still it's beneficial. And those who have would like to join again, please be my guest. All right. Don't miss that opportunity. And also Chinese version, not yet, Mataji. We don't have Chinese speaker here. Right? Hopefully we're going to get a Chinese.
Great scholar, Prabhu. You will make that possible and preach like this.
No, I don't speak Chinese.
You will make arrangement to have a devotee do this.
So, yeah, I have to look for Chinese devotee and translate all to Chinese. And of course, I'm so grateful to Cheong Prabhu for he's planning to introduce his program to these university students and college students in Johor. So I hope that all of them join this thing. Yeah, I understand. You got this thing, but to do presentation, the slides and everything, a lot of work to do. I have to get the Bhagavad Gita from.
Is the way for all of us in future.
Yeah, maybe Krishna one day will make Rusan Mataji to be the first Mandarin speaker. Leave it to Krishna. All right.
Haribol.
Okay, so with that, we end the session here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Good night and good morning to Prahlad Prabhu. Have a beautiful day.
Gauranga.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
everyone.
Krishna.